Welcome, cherished friends, to a deeply moving story of concealed truths and unforeseen reunions. Prepare to immerse yourself in a tale brimming with heartfelt moments and emotional revelations. If you are not subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. Emily fluttered around her mother, Sarah, with the boundless energy of a joyful young child, her long blonde hair dancing with each enthusiastic spin. Her bright blue eyes were alive with the shimmer of eager anticipation. The Williams family's expansive suburban residence buzzed with a whirlwind of activity as the grand preparations for Emily's 18th birthday celebration reached their peak. "Mom, I'm absolutely over the moon about the incredible party you and Dad have organized for me. You two are the best," Emily exclaimed with infectious excitement, enveloping her mother in a tight, loving embrace. The comforting scent of Sarah's signature perfume and enchanting blend of jasmine and vanilla filled the air around them. Sarah tenderly ran her fingers through her daughter's hair, her expression a complex mixture of joy and wistful nostalgia. "Well, darling, turning 18 is a monumental milestone, though I must confess, your father and I are grappling with a touch of sadness knowing our little girl is all grown up now," Sarah said, her voice tinged with a poignant blend of pride and sorrow. Emily rolled her eyes in a mockingly exaggerated manner, pulling back to meet her mother's gaze with playful defiance. "Oh, Mom, don't be so melodramatic. I'm not about to pack up and leave tomorrow or anything." Sarah laughed softly, though her voice carried an undercurrent of melancholy. "I know, my love, I know. But it feels like just yesterday you were a tiny child, and before we know it, you'll be off to college, and then eventually you'll get married. Our home will be left feeling so vast and empty without you." "That will never happen," Emily declared with unwavering conviction, pulling her mother into an even tighter embrace. "I promise I won't get married or leave you and Dad. I'll stay right here with you both forever." Sarah arched an eyebrow, her emerald green eyes sparkling with playful intrigue. "Oh, really now? And what about Jake? I recall you two seem to be quite inseparable lately." Emily's face turned a delicate shade of pink, and she busied herself with adjusting a vase of flowers on the table, as if it were suddenly of utmost importance. "Jake? Oh, we're just friends, Mom." Sarah's lips curled into a knowing smile as she responded with a gentle hum. "Friends, yes, but sometimes friends can mean more. You're maturing, Emily. It's all part of the journey of growing up." Emily sighed with exaggerated drama, collapsing onto the soft, welcoming cushions of the sofa. All right, but I swear I'll come by frequently after I move out. Now, can we shift our focus to something far more pressing, like picking out my outfit for tomorrow's big celebration?" Sarah's laughter filled the room, lifting the mood and dissolving any lingering tension. "Of course, my little fashionista. Let's dive into your wardrobe and find the perfect ensemble for the birthday girl." As they ascended the stairs together, Sarah felt a pang of guilt twist within her. If only Emily were aware of the heavy truth that Sarah and Robert had shielded for 18 long years. The weight of their hidden secret bore heavily on her heart, casting a shadow over her maternal joy. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, in a neighborhood far less opulent, Kate hurriedly made her way down the uneven pavement. Her worn sneakers slapped against the cracked sidewalk with each determined step. Her long blonde hair was pulled into a disheveled ponytail, and her piercing blue eyes were fixed with an unwavering focus on her destination. The dilapidated buildings and graffiti-splattered walls stood in stark contrast to the pristine, manicured lawns of Emily's affluent neighborhood, painting a vivid picture of two very different worlds. Kate had recently embarked on a new chapter of her life, having secured a position at Bella Luna, an elegant Italian restaurant known for its refined atmosphere. Fueled by a burning desire to make a lasting impression, she had pleaded with Mr. Thompson for a role as a waitress. However, his response had been firm. "You'll start as a dishwasher," he had declared with a gruff tone, his bushy eyebrows drawn together in a stern expression. "Prove your worth, and then we might discuss moving you up to a waitressing position. Understand?" Kate had nodded vigorously, her heart pounding with a mixture of anxiety and resolve. This job was crucial for her. It represented more than just a paycheck, it was a stepping stone toward her dream of attending community college in the fall. She was determined to overcome every obstacle in her path and carve out a future for herself, no matter how challenging it might be. Lost in thoughts about her forthcoming shift and the opportunities it might bring, Kate hurried along the street. She was so engrossed in her daydreams that she failed to notice a jagged section of the sidewalk. Her foot snagged on the uneven surface, and she felt a sudden jarring shift as she stumbled, bracing herself for the inevitable crash onto the unforgiving concrete. But instead of hitting the ground, she was met with an unexpected softness. Strong, steady arms enveloped her, preventing her fall and keeping her upright. The fresh, citrusy aroma of cologne enveloped her senses, momentarily distracting her from her anxiety. "Hoa, are you okay?" came a deep, concerned voice. Kate looked up, her gaze locking with the warmth of his brown eyes. The man who had caught her was strikingly handsome, tall, with tousled dark hair and a smile that radiated kindness. His firm grip on her arm sent a surprising jolt of electricity through her, a sensation that both startled and exhilarated her. "Please take the following basic paragraph and completely rewrite it using entirely different words. Extend the paragraph to make it longer, while ensuring it maintains the original meaning. Infuse the rewritten paragraph with numerous emotionally charged words to enhance its depth and impact." Welcome, dear friends, to a tale of hidden truths and unexpected reunions. Enjoy the story. Emily bounced around her mother, Sarah, like an excited puppy. Her long blonde hair swished as she twirled, her blue eyes sparkling with anticipation. The Williams' spacious suburban home was a flurry of activity as preparations for Emily's 18th birthday party were underway. "Mom, I can't believe you and Dad planned such an amazing party for me. I love you guys so much," Emily squealed, hugging her mother tightly. The scent of Sarah's familiar perfume, a mix of jasmine and vanilla, enveloped her. Sarah stroked her daughter's hair, a bittersweet smile on her face. "Of course, sweetie. Turning 18 is a big deal, though I have to admit, your father and I are a little sad our baby girl is all grown up now." Emily rolled her eyes playfully, pulling back to look at her mother. "Oh, Mom, don't be dramatic. It's not like I'm moving out tomorrow or anything." Sarah chuckled, but there was a hint of melancholy in her voice. I know, but soon enough, you'll be off to college, then getting married, leaving us all alone in this big, empty house." "Never," Emily declared, hugging her mother even tighter. "I'll never get married. I'll stay here with you and Dad forever." ChatGPT. Welcome, cherished friends, to a deeply moving story of concealed truths and unforeseen reunions. Prepare to immerse yourself in a tale brimming with heartfelt moments and emotional revelations. Emily fluttered around her mother, Sarah, with the boundless energy of a joyful young child, her long blonde hair dancing with each enthusiastic spin. Her bright blue eyes were alive with the shimmer of eager anticipation. The Williams family's expansive suburban residence buzzed with a whirlwind of activity as the grand preparations for Emily's 18th birthday celebration reached their peak. "Mom, I'm absolutely over the moon about the incredible party you and Dad have organized for me." "You two are the best," Emily exclaimed with infectious excitement, enveloping her mother in a tight, loving embrace. The comforting scent of Sarah's signature perfume, an enchanting blend of jasmine and vanilla, filled the air around them. Sarah tenderly ran her fingers through her daughter's hair, her expression a complex mixture of joy and wistful nostalgia. "Well, darling, turning 18 is a monumental milestone, though I must confess, Your father and I are grappling with a touch of sadness, knowing our little girl is all grown up now," Sarah said, her voice tinged with a poignant blend of pride and sorrow. Emily rolled her eyes in a mockingly exaggerated manner, pulling back to meet her mother's gaze with playful defiance. "Oh, Mom, don't be so melodramatic. I'm not about to pack up and leave tomorrow or anything." Sarah laughed softly, though her voice carried an undercurrent of melancholy. "I know, my love, I know. But it feels like just yesterday you were a tiny child, and before we know it, you'll be off to college, and then eventually you'll get married. Our home will be left feeling so vast and empty without you." "That will never happen," Emily declared with unwavering conviction, pulling her mother into an even tighter embrace. "I promise I won't get married or leave you and Dad. I'll stay right here with you both forever." Sarah raised an eyebrow, her green eyes twinkling with amusement. "Oh, really? What about Jake? I thought you two were getting pretty serious." Emily's cheeks flushed pink, and she busied herself with straightening a nearby vase of flowers. "Jake? We're just friends, Mom." Sarah hummed knowingly. "Well, friends are more. You're growing up, Emily. It's all part of life." Emily sighed dramatically, flopping onto the plush sofa. Fine, but I promise I'll visit all the time when I do move out. Now, can we please focus on more important things, like what I'm going to wear tomorrow?" Sarah laughed, the tension broken. "Of course, my little fashionista. Let's go raid your closet and find the perfect outfit for the birthday girl." As they headed upstairs, Sarah couldn't help but feel a pang of guilt. If only Emily knew the truth. The secret she and Robert had kept for 18 years weighed heavily on her heart. Across town, in a much less affluent neighborhood, Kate hurried down the street. Her second-hand sneakers slapped against the cracked sidewalk. Her long blonde hair was pulled back in a messy ponytail, and her blue eyes were focused intently on the path ahead. The rundown buildings and graffiti-covered walls were a stark contrast to the manicured lawns of Emily's neighborhood. ChatGPT. Sarah arched an eyebrow, her emerald green eyes sparkling with playful intrigue. "Oh, really now? And what about Jake? I recall you two seem to be quite inseparable lately." Emily's face turned a delicate shade of pink, and she busied herself with adjusting a vase of flowers on the table, as if it were suddenly of utmost importance. "Jake? Oh, we're just friends, Mom." Sarah's lips curled into a knowing smile as she responded with a gentle hum. "Friends, yes, but sometimes friends can mean more. You're maturing, Emily. It's all part of the journey of growing up." Emily sighed with exaggerated drama, collapsing onto the soft, welcoming cushions of the sofa. All right, but I swear I'll come by frequently after I move out. Now, can we shift our focus to something far more pressing, like picking out my outfit for tomorrow's big celebration?" Sarah's laughter filled the room, lifting the mood and dissolving any lingering tension. "Of course, my little fashionista. Let's dive into your wardrobe and find the perfect ensemble for the birthday girl." As they ascended the stairs together, Sarah felt a pang of guilt twist within her. If only Emily were aware of the heavy truth that Sarah and Robert had shielded for 18 long years. The weight of their hidden secret bore heavily on her heart, casting a shadow over her maternal joy. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, in a neighborhood far less opulent, Kate hurriedly made her way down the uneven pavement. Her worn sneakers slapped against the cracked sidewalk with each determined step. Her long blonde hair was pulled into a disheveled ponytail, and her piercing blue eyes were fixed with an unwavering focus on her destination. The dilapidated buildings and graffiti-splattered walls stood in stark contrast to the pristine, manicured lawns of Emily's affluent neighborhood, painting a vivid picture of two very different worlds. Kate had recently started working at Bella Luna, an upscale Italian restaurant, and she was determined to make a good impression. She'd begged for a job as a waitress, but the owner, Mr. Thompson, had been firm. "You start as a dishwasher," he said gruffly, his bushy eyebrows furrowed. "Prove yourself, and maybe we'll talk about moving you up to waitressing." "Got it." Kate had nodded eagerly, her heart pounding with determination. She needed this job and needed the money for her plans to attend community college in the fall. She was going to make something of herself, no matter what. As she rushed along, lost in thought about her upcoming shift, Kate didn't notice the uneven patch of sidewalk. Her foot caught, and she stumbled, bracing herself for impact with the hard concrete. But the fall never came. Instead, she felt strong arms catch her, steadying her on her feet. The scent of cologne, a fresh citrusy scent, filled her nostrils. "Oh, are you okay?" a deep voice asked. Kate looked up, her eyes meeting warm brown ones. The guy holding her was gorgeous tall, with tousled dark hair and a kind smile. His strong hands were still on her arms, sending a jolt of electricity through her body. ChatGPT. Day. Kate had recently embarked on a new chapter of her life, having secured a position at Bella Luna, an elegant Italian restaurant known for its refined atmosphere. Fueled by a burning desire to make a lasting impression, she had pleaded with Mr. Thompson for a role as a waitress. However, his response had been firm. "You'll start as a dishwasher," he had declared with a gruff tone, his bushy eyebrows drawn together in a stern expression. "Prove your worth, and then we might discuss moving you up to a waitressing position. Understand?" Kate had nodded vigorously, her heart pounding with a mixture of anxiety and resolve. This job was crucial for her. It represented more than just a paycheck. It was a stepping stone toward her dream of attending community college in the fall. She was determined to overcome every obstacle in her path and carve out a future for herself, no matter how challenging it might be. Lost in thoughts about her forthcoming shift and the opportunities it might bring, Kate hurried along the street. She was so engrossed in her daydreams that she failed to notice a jagged section of the sidewalk. Her foot snagged on the uneven surface, and she felt a sudden, jarring shift as she stumbled, bracing herself for the inevitable crash onto the unforgiving concrete. But instead of hitting the ground, she was met with an unexpected softness. Strong, steady arms enveloped her, preventing her fall and keeping her upright. The fresh, citrusy aroma of cologne enveloped her senses, momentarily distracting her from her anxiety. "Oh, are you okay?" came a deep, concerned voice. Kate looked up, her gaze locking with the warmth of his brown eyes. The man who had caught her was strikingly handsome, tall, with tousled dark hair and a smile that radiated kindness. His firm grip on her arm sent a surprising jolt of electricity through her, a sensation that both startled and exhilarated her. Yeah, I'm fine," Kate stammered, feeling her cheeks heat up. "Thanks." The guy grinned, his perfect white teeth gleaming. "No problem. Just be careful, okay? Wouldn't want you to hurt that pretty face of yours." Kate's blush deepened, and she took a step back, suddenly aware of how close they were standing. "Right, thanks again. I've got to go." She hurried off, her heart pounding as she rounded the corner. She couldn't resist glancing back. The guy was still standing there, watching her with an amused expression. He gave her a little wave, and Kate quickly turned away, her face burning as she continued her walk to work. Kate shook her head, trying to clear it. She didn't have time for guys, no matter how cute they were. She had bigger things to worry about. But despite her best efforts, she couldn't quite shake the memory of those warm brown eyes and that dazzling smile. The next evening, Bella Luna was a hive of activity. Banners and streamers adorned every surface, and the air was filled with the buzz of excited chatter and the clink of champagne glasses. The rich aroma of garlic and tomato sauce wafted from the kitchen, mingling with the sweet scent of fresh flowers adorning the tables. Kate, now dressed in a crisp white shirt and black slacks, darted between tables, her arms laden with dirty dishes. She couldn't help but feel a twinge of envy as she watched the party unfold. The guests were dressed in designer clothes, dripping with jewels and oozing wealth. It was a world so far removed from her own that it might as well have been on another planet. "Must be nice," she muttered to herself, glancing at the birthday girl holding court at the center table. The girl was laughing, her head thrown back, surrounded by adoring friends and family. Kate felt a pang in her chest, wondering what it would be like to be that loved, that celebrated. ChatGPT. Yeah, I'm fine," Kate stammered, her cheeks flushing a deep shade of red. "Thanks." The guy flashed a charming grin, his perfectly white teeth shining brightly. "No problem at all. Just watch your step next time, okay? Wouldn't want anything to happen to that lovely face of yours." Kate's blush intensified, and she took a hurried step back, suddenly acutely aware of their proximity. "Right? Thanks again. I've got to go." With a quick nod, she dashed around the corner, her heart racing as she stole a glance over her shoulder. The guy remained where she had left him, watching her with an amused smile. He gave her a casual wave, and Kate, her face burning with embarrassment, turned away quickly, resuming her brisk walk to work. She shook her head, attempting to dispel the distraction. She had no time for romance, no matter how charming the guy might be. She had far more pressing concerns. Still, no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't completely erase the memory of those warm, brown eyes and that dazzling, disarming smile from her mind. The following evening, Bella Luna buzzed with vibrant energy. The restaurant was transformed into a festive spectacle, with colorful banners and shimmering streamers decorating every inch of the space. The air was alive with the sounds of animated conversations and the clinking of champagne glasses. Rich, mouth-watering scents of garlic and tomato sauce wafted from the kitchen, blending with the sweet fragrance of fresh flowers that adorned the elegantly set tables. Kate, clad in a pristine white shirt and sleek black slacks, darted between tables, her arms piled high with dirty dishes. A pang of envy pierced her heart as she observed the lively party unfolding around her. The guests, draped in designer clothing and glittering with opulent jewelry, seemed to inhabit a world of extravagant luxury that felt light years away from her reality. "Must be nice," she muttered to herself, casting a wistful glance at the center table where the birthday girl reigned supreme. The girl was surrounded by a circle of adoring friends and family, her laughter ringing out with unabashed joy. Kate felt a sharp pang of longing in her chest, wondering what it would be like to be so cherished, so celebrated, and to be the center of such heartfelt attention. Just then, Mr. Thompson appeared at her side, his ever-present scowl etching deeper lines into his face. "Kate, I need you on the floor." Melissa twisted her ankle and were short-staffed. "Can you handle it?" Kate's eyes widened with a surge of excitement and a hint of apprehension. "Really? I mean, yes, I won't let you down." "Mr. Thompson gave a curt nod, his expression unyielding. "Make sure you don't. Now, get changed and get out there." With a burst of energy, Kate dashed to the back room, her heart pounding with a heady mix of nervousness and exhilaration. This was her moment, a golden opportunity to prove herself. As she slipped into the waitress uniform, a sleek black skirt paired with a crisp white blouse, she stole a moment in front of the mirror for a quick pep talk. "You've got this," she murmured to her reflection, smoothing down her hair with a determined flick. "Just keep smiling and stay polite. You can do this." Emerging in her new uniform, notepad clutched tightly in her hand, Kate took a deep, steadying breath. The restaurant seemed to pulse with even more energy now, the din of voices rising as the party reached its peak. For a fleeting moment, the sheer volume and chaos of the room felt overwhelming. But then she squared her shoulders, affixed her most genuine smile, and reminded herself that this was the moment she had been waiting for, the chance to showcase her abilities. With a surge of determination, Kate stepped onto the floor. Over the next hour, she became a whirlwind of activity, her movements fluid and efficient as she took orders, delivered drinks, and cleared tables with practiced ease. Despite the whirlwind of chaos, she felt an electrifying sense of exhilaration. This was where she belonged. She thrived in the rapid pace and the challenge of managing multiple tasks simultaneously. Even when she nearly spilled a tray of drinks, her quick reflexes saving the day, she maintained her composure and didn't let the minor mishap unsettle her. Then came the moment that would alter everything. "Kate, Mr." Thompson's voice cut through the bustling noise of the restaurant, his tone urgent as he waved her over. "Table 12 needs attention. The birthday girl has made a request." Kate nodded quickly, her nerves jangling as she straightened her shirt and approached the high-profile table at the center of the room. Her palms were slick with sweat, and she discreetly wiped them on her skirt, her mind racing with anxiety. This was the VIP table, the focal point of tonight's grand celebration. She knew she couldn't afford to make a single mistake. "Good evening," she began, her smile a carefully rehearsed mask of professionalism. "What can I get for you?" Her voice faltered as she met the gaze of the birthday girl. It was as though she was staring at her reflection's same golden blonde hair, same vivid blue eyes, same heart-shaped face. Even the small mole just above her left eyebrow mirrored Kate's own. A wave of stunned silence cascaded over the restaurant as the diners took in the uncanny resemblance. The birthday girl's mother turned ashen, her champagne glass slipping from her trembling fingers and shattering on the floor. Her father's complexion turned a ghastly shade of gray, as if he might faint on the spot. The birthday girl was the first to break the oppressive silence, her voice quivering with confusion and fear. "Mom, Dad, what's happening? Who is she?" Kate, her hands quaking so violently that her notepad nearly slipped from her grasp, managed to stammer, "What would you like to order?" The girl's father, his voice strained and rough, finally spoke up, "I think we're done here." "In an instant, mister." Thompson appeared, his face a mask of concern and discomfort. He gently but firmly guided Kate away from the table. "Go take your break," he instructed in a low, hurried tone, his eyes darting nervously between Kate and the shocked family. The gravity of the situation hung in the air, a heavy, unspoken tension palpable to all. As Kate fled to the back room, the murmur of voices began to swell behind her, growing louder and more insistent. The din of speculation surged like a tidal wave, crashing against her ears as she raced into the employee break room, her breath coming in ragged bursts. What was happening? Who was that girl at the center table, and why did she look exactly like Kate? The minutes ticked by in a blur, and soon Kate found herself sitting in Mr. Thompson's cramped office, her heart pounding with a mix of dread and confusion. The atmosphere was suffused with palpable tension, and Kate felt an overwhelming sense of being in over her head. "So, Kate, Mr. Thompson began, his voice unusually formal and stern, "do you have anything to say for yourself?" Kate swallowed hard, struggling to keep her composure. Her heart raced as she searched for the right words. I'm sorry if I caused any trouble. I didn't mean to." The birthday girl's mother, her complexion still unnervingly pale, cleared her throat and spoke with a brittle edge to her voice. "I believe there's been some sort of misunderstanding. Kate, could you please tell us where you were born?" Kate hesitated, her mind whirling with anxiety and disbelief. She knew the answer, it was the truth she had always lived with. But the weight of the moment made everything feel surreal. "I was born in this town and have lived here all my life," Kate answered, her voice quaking. "Why do you ask?" The birthday girl's father leaned forward, his gaze piercing and intense as he scrutinized Kate's face. "And your mother, what's her name?" Sarah Kate responded, her voice barely a whisper, as if speaking louder might shatter the fragile reality she was clinging to. The room fell into an oppressive silence once more. The birthday girl looked at her parents, her confusion deepening. Is this some kind of joke? The gravity of the moment hung heavily in the air, the tension so thick it seemed almost tangible. Kate's heart raced with the realization that the simple question of her birthplace might be unraveling something far more profound and unsettling. "Mr." Thompson's face remained etched in a deep frown. "This isn't a joke. It appears we might have stumbled upon something quite significant." Kate's pulse quickened as she glanced nervously between the birthday girl and Mr. Thompson. The gravity of the situation was unmistakable. This was no mere misunderstanding. "Mr. Thompson," the birthday girl's father said, his voice tight with urgency, "I believe it's time we have a private discussion. Kate, could you please step out?" Kate rose from her seat, her mind a chaotic whirl of confusion and dread. She cast one last look at the birthday girl, their eyes locking in a fleeting exchange of unspoken recognition. The weight of the moment was almost tangible, pressing heavily on her shoulders as she exited the office. Outside, the corridors of the restaurant seemed to close in on her, the hum of activity fading into a distant murmur. Kate's mind spun with questions and apprehension. What was this deep, unsettling connection that had just surfaced? She felt a desperate need for clarity but had no idea where to begin. With a deep, steadying breath, Kate made her way to the kitchen, seeking solace in its familiar, chaotic rhythm. The clatter of pots and pans and the sizzle of cooking seemed to offer a small measure of comfort, a brief respite from the turmoil swirling in her mind. But even as she navigated the bustling kitchen, Kate couldn't escape the feeling that her life had just veered onto an unpredictable path. The unexpected meeting with the family and the striking resemblance had stirred something profound within her, a gnawing intuition that the answers she sought were within reach, hidden in the shadows of her past. Emily's voice trembled as she called out, "Wait, can we talk later, please?" Kate hesitated at the door, her heart heavy with a blend of anxiety and hope. She turned back slowly, nodding in agreement. "Yeah, I'd like that." As she stepped out of the office, Kate felt as though she was crossing into an entirely new realm, a realm where she had a sister, a realm where she wasn't alone. It was a heady mix of terror and exhilaration. The rest of her shift passed in a daze. MCS 39, he moved through the restaurant's bustling environment almost mechanically, taking orders and delivering dishes, while her mind was trapped in a whirlwind of thoughts. Each time she caught a glimpse of her reflection in a mirror or a polished surface, the stark reality hit her anew. She wasn't just Kate anymore. She was Kate, Emily's twin sister. She was Kate, the daughter Robert and Sarah Williams had given up. When Kate finally left the restaurant that night, the cool, crisp air of the evening was a welcome contrast to the stifling warmth of the restaurant. She felt a peculiar combination of lightness and heaviness, as though her very being had been irrevocably altered within a few short hours. As she walked home beneath the expanse of the star-studded sky, her mind raced with questions and possibilities, wondering what the new day might hold. In the weeks that followed, Kate and Emily seized every available moment to be together, eagerly making up for years of lost time. They discovered countless similarities, shared laughter, identical tastes in music, and even the same allergic reactions. It was as though they were looking into a mirror that not only reflected their appearance but also echoed their inner lives. One bright and sunny afternoon, as they relaxed in a park near Kate's modest apartment, Emily turned to her sister with a playful glint in her eyes. "So come on, spill the beans. Any cute guys in your life?" Kate's cheeks flushed as she thought about the handsome stranger she had encountered on the street. His warm brown eyes and dazzling smile had lingered in her dreams. Not really, she fibbed, distractedly picking at a blade of grass. I've been so caught up with work and school that dating hasn't even crossed my mind." Emily nudged her with a mischievous grin, nearly causing them both to topple off the park bench. "Oh, come on. There must be someone. What about that adorable doctor at the children's home we visited last week? I saw the way he was looking at you." Kate's cheeks flushed deeper as she said, "Doctor? Ethan? We're just friends." Emily's expression took on a knowing quality, reminiscent of their mother's. "Well, friend or not, he's totally into you. You should give it a shot." Kate laughed, the ease with which she and Emily had bonded still a little surreal. "Maybe. But what about you and Jake? How are things going there?" Emily's cheeks flushed a delicate pink. "It's complicated. I like him, but with everything that's happened, I'm not sure what to do. It's a lot to process." Kate reached out and squeezed her sister's hand, the gesture feeling as natural as breathing. "I get it, but don't let this change who you are or what you want. You deserve to be happy." Emily's eyes glistened with tears as she smiled. "So do you, Kate. So do you." As the sun dipped toward the horizon, casting a warm, golden glow over the park, the sisters sat in a peaceful silence, each reflecting on the incredible changes in their lives. The background sounds of children's laughter, playful barks from dogs, and the distant hum of the city created a soothing soundtrack to their introspection. Kate marveled at the dramatic shift in her life. Just weeks ago, she had been alone, consumed by her daily struggles and dreams of a better future. Now, she had a sister, a family, an entirely new world to explore. The whirlwind of emotions was both overwhelming and exhilarating. As they gathered their belongings to leave, Emily linked her arm through Kate's and said softly, "You know, I always felt like something was missing in my life. I could never quite pinpoint it, but there was always this emptiness. Now I understand why. It was you, my twin, my other half." Kate's throat tightened, a lump forming as she struggled to hold back tears. "I know exactly what you mean. All those years in foster care, I felt so alone, so out of place. But now that we're together, it feels like a part of me has finally come home." Robert continued, his tone earnest. "We want to make things right. We've missed so much of your life, and this is our way of helping you start the future you've always dreamed of." Kate's heart pounded as she tried to process his words. She glanced at Sarah, who was watching her with a mix of apprehension and hope. The strained attempts at bonding between them were evident in Sarah's eyes, but she seemed genuinely concerned about Kate's well-being. Emily squeezed Kate's hand under the table, offering silent encouragement. Kate took a deep breath, trying to steady her emotions. The idea of accepting such a generous offer was both overwhelming and touching. I don't know what to say," Kate said, her voice trembling slightly. "It's very kind of you, but I don't want to impose." Robert shook his head, his expression softening. "It's not an imposition. We want to do this. You're our daughter, and we want to support you in any way we can. Please, let us help." Kate's emotions swirled as she looked around the table. The kindness in Robert's eyes, the hesitant but hopeful look from Sarah, and the reassuring presence of Emily all combined to create a powerful wave of feelings. "Okay," Kate finally said, her voice filled with gratitude. "Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll make sure to make the most of this opportunity." The room seemed to relax as the tension lifted, and Robert smiled, clearly relieved. Sarah reached over and gave Kate's hand a gentle squeeze, a gesture that spoke volumes more than words could. The rest of the dinner was filled with more genuine laughter and conversation than usual. The offer had opened a new chapter in Kate's relationship with the Williams family. Though there were still hurdles to overcome, the support and acceptance she felt from them gave her hope. As Kate and Emily walked home that evening, arm in arm once again, Kate felt a profound sense of belonging. The challenges that lay ahead seemed less daunting with her sister and newfound family by her side. And though the future was uncertain, Kate was ready to face it, knowing she had the love and support of those who truly mattered. The next morning, Kate woke up with a renewed sense of purpose. The light streaming through the window seemed brighter, and the usual morning routine felt less like a chore and more like a part of a larger, promising future. As she joined the Williams family for breakfast, she noticed a change in the way they interacted. The air was lighter, filled with genuine laughter and easy conversation. Emily chattered about her upcoming theater performance. Sarah discussed her latest book club read, and Robert shared stories from his golf game with an enthusiasm that made Kate smile. During the meal, Sarah turned to Kate with a gentle smile. "We were thinking of taking a family trip next month. It would be a chance for us all to spend some time together and get to know each other better. What do you think?" Kate's heart warmed at the offer. "I'd love that," she said, her voice steady despite the emotional roller coaster she'd been on. "Where are you thinking of going?" Robert leaned in, his eyes twinkling with excitement. "How about a cabin in the mountains? We could do some hiking, maybe have a few bonfires. It could be a great way for us to bond." The idea was perfect. It promised a chance for adventure and more shared moments that could help solidify the bond Kate had recently discovered with her family. "That sounds amazing," she replied, already imagining the possibilities. As the conversation shifted to the trip's details, Kate felt a surge of gratitude. The challenges of integrating into this new family were still ahead, but the love and support she felt made it seem manageable. Her past was filled with moments of solitude and hardship, but her future was now brimming with hope and connection. The day continued with a flurry of activity. Kate helped Emily with some preparations for her theater group, and later they spent time discussing their favorite books and movies. Every conversation, every shared laugh, felt like a step towards something new and wonderful. In the evening, Kate took a moment to sit on the porch and watch the sunset. The sky was a canvas of vibrant colors, and she felt a sense of peace settle over her. She reflected on how much her life had changed in a short period. From the uncertainty of her past to the warmth of her new family, she realized that she was exactly where she was meant to be. As the stars began to twinkle overhead, Kate made a silent promise to herself. She would embrace the new chapters of her life with an open heart and a hopeful spirit. Whatever challenges or joys lay ahead, she knew she would face them with the strength and support of the people who had become her family. With a contented sigh, Kate headed back inside, ready to face the future with optimism and love. Wow, what a journey we've been on together with Kate and Emily. From the dramatic revelation of their sibling bond to the heartwarming moments of family integration, this story has been a powerful reminder of the strength and love that family can bring into our lives. We've seen Kate's incredible transformation from a solitary individual to someone who has found a place of belonging and support. Her story shows us that no matter where we come from or what our past holds, there's always the potential for new beginnings and deeper connections. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What has this story taught you so far? Share one thing you've learned and how you plan to apply it in your own life in the comments below. Your insights and experiences might inspire others who are on their journey of self-discovery and connection. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more inspiring stories and content. Your support helps us continue bringing you the stories and insights that matter most. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.